dance. 2, 3, 4. Just about a year ago, I set out on the road, seeking my fame and fortune, looking for a pot of gold. Things got bad and things got worse. I guess you know the tune. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Rode in on the Greyhound, I'll be walking out if I go. I was just passing through, must be 7 months or more. Ran out of time and money, looks like they took my friends. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Man from the magazine said I was on my way. Somewhere I lost connection, ran out of songs to play. Came in a town of one night stand, looks like the plans fell through. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. If I only had $1 for every song I sung, and every time I had to play while people sat there drunk, you know I'd catch the next train back to where I live. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Oh Lord, I'm stuck in Lodi again. Yes. Happy birthday. Jimmy on a beat, boy.
Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, okie dokie boomer. B-O-O-M-E-R, please your dusty mood, don't vibe with me. You are old and so therefore I must say 10 for dinosaur. Hey. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Whatever you say, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okie dokie boomer.
Have you ever been to Lodi? Have you been to Lodi? Lodi, it's in California, I believe. Yeah, I can't remember. It's Arizona or California. Yeah, it's either California or Arizona. I'm confused, and I'm geographically challenged tonight because I've been doing my tech stuff, and it makes me crazy. And I know that Steve Cutler can probably relate to that. Anyway, that was Rainbow Girls, submitted by Barbara Bartleson. Yeah, Barbara, thank you. Yeah, nice and easy. We're gonna have a mellow show tonight. Not gonna be too stressful, but there was some good news today. Chanda is muted. Try it again.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Can't hear Chanda. Shanda's muted.
I fixed you. You're fine now. For some reason, it didn't take. I got the backup channel. So sorry about that, but Chanda has never been to Lodi, and she's fine tonight. She's gonna go hunting for llama after the show. Is what we were talking about. Llama. I didn't know you could hunt llama in this time of year. So.
No, I don't hunt them. I hang out with them.
Oh, you
You
hang out
know,
with
hey
llamas.
llamas, your
Yeah,
mama is a llama.
I get it. I get it. I get it. I get anyway. No, just a short announcement. This is a whole new configuration. Oz tore apart the studio and upgraded one more time. So hopefully,
Never ending.
never ending, never ending. So that was in between two shows yesterday and tonight.
I know you've done a lot of shows, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad to have Combo back in the country. You know,
Oh yeah, so nice.
good to have him home.
Absolutely. You want to give a shout outs before we get going?
Shout out. Yeah. Hey, you guys are awesome. Already dropping rays over on the rock fin. Let's see who's over there. We got Kashami Kate. Ding, $5 for being late. Aw, we're just glad you're here.
Yeah.
Thanks. We don't penalize ARAM in with the good. Oh, yay. Thank you. Yeah, the good. I think we got a good show lined up tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see who else do we got hanging out in there. Jim. Hey, Jim. Steve Cutler. Steve, we'll talk in this show. I saw you getting all fired up in a few chats, so I brought some good stuff for you.
Yeah, Steve.
Who else is over there? Oh, the People's Elbow. Hey, People's. CJ, I saw you in the chat. I think it was the Jimmy Dore chat earlier today.
Yeah.
I like the Jimmy Dore chat on Rockfin. It's nice and quiet. If you ever want a good place to actually just sit there and kind of talk with people, because Jimmy's chat on YouTube
Yeah, it's like
it's
a skid
been
mark.
unbearable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been unbearable for years. But it was refreshing to go into a Jimmy Dore chat and actually see people be able to have conversations. I was like, hey, that's a cool thing to know.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Rockfin.
Rockfin. So
Rockfin.
do I need to shout out Roar? And
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, we got Cirrus. Cirrus is over there. Kate, you're over at the Natural Progressive too. I hope you guys can see everything over there at the Natural Progressive. And we are on the Rumble and the Twitch tonight.
Twitch.
Yeah,
I didn't
the
get signed into
we,
Twitch.
We are still fighting with the Odyssey to stream live. Working on it, but we made our quota, at least what they told me.
Yeah, we
before.
made our quotas. Come on, man.
Come on.
Let us go
pony
live.
up.
Let us go
A
live.
dingo ate me, baby. Hi, Lucky.
Dingo?
Hi, Lucky. Al Walski.
Lucky.
Hi from Vermont. Al, you got any snow up there? Anthony. Jelly.
No.
Jelly. Steve Cutler's over there. We got, God, who else? Charlie Brown's Rebellion. Hey, Charlie, what's going on? Oh, my God. Vic, VSA Dams. Hey, Vic, good to see you.
Hey, we are live on Twitch. Wow.
We are live. Wow, we're moving up in the world.
And
That's
hello
good.
to the one viewer. I'm sure it's Twitch.
Yeah.
We just got back. We're glad to be back.
Yes, we are.
Glad to be building on Twitch.
Steve Wolfbrandt, the man that I see in just about every place I go with Sister Jilly. Snorky, good to see you, Snorky. Snorky, I didn't need your email address. I need your hard mail address, buddy.
Yeah.
So we can send you a something for your stocking. Peace Dove. How yeah, everybody can hear Shanda now, right? Yeah, Shanda was
Yeah, they can hear you.
Yeah.
But they can't see you. You're cutting your face off.
Yeah, I'm cutting half a face. I'm gonna end up
You're
like
half a
somebody
face.
else here. God, reflect the sun. Push pulleys all over. Yeah, Horny Unicorn. What's going on? Gosh, we got a
It's
lot
a
of
creepy
people.
picture in the background. Oh, that's from 1984, isn't it?
That is from 1984.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see.
Creepy.
I think I got everybody. If somebody else comes in, if Barbara Bartleson comes in, let me know so I can thank her for sending that submission. We have a couple of submissions. Today's another special day, at least for my family. Today is my lovely wife's
Yay.
birthday, Joey. Happy birthday, Joey.
Happy birthday, Joey.
Yeah, she's
Getting younger.
Yeah, She. I told her a little while ago that she ages backwards, which is great for her, bad for me. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, she's 84, going on 50. So that's
You guys are funny with that.
Yeah. So, but she's just terrific. I couldn't have asked for a better.
She's
partner
a sweetheart
than her.
and the best coffee roaster. If you haven't checked out Joey's
yeah.
coffee, it is so worth it. I know some of you guys out there got little gift bags, and I hope you guys like them.
Yeah. We just got a big order of some, I think Brazilian in, and
They're all good. They're all good. I mean, I have my favorites, but they're all good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I really got to remind. For some reason, we won't be streaming on Twitch because Twitch has changed the rules over there. They're gonna take everybody's stuff down. But this show is satire for the most part, although you will find some truth embedded. But the real breaking news is, and you've all heard it by now, I think it broke, 3 hours ago? Was breaking news. CNN fires Chris Cuomo after law firm probes involvement into brother's harassment scandal. Boy, we didn't see that coming.
So is Andrew going to give him the kiss of death now, and he's no longer a part of the family?
Yeah, I guess. I think so. The Tattaglia boys aren't happy. That's for damn sure. But there we go. The Cuomo crime family is out for right now. I don't have a lot of sympathy for that guy anyway. I
wasn't shocked. I knew it was coming. I knew it was formality because they do this. This is what the big conglomerates, big studios do when something like this breaks on them. Like, look at the Matt Lauer. They did the same thing. They'll just come out. They have to do an investigation so they can cover all their freaking bases. I mean, he knew damn well he was on his way out when they pulled, said he was on suspension a couple of days ago. So, they had the Texas. There was no way this was going to go away. He's begging, let me help, bro, basically.
Yeah.
And this is going to get much bigger. I have a feeling.
There's a, what was the Spider-Man thing? With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
And both those dudes, totally irresponsible, if not criminal, on many scales. I want to credit Wadir Entertainment for the picture of Fredo Cuomo there. That's refaced on The Godfather's Fredo, I believe. Is that correct, Shanna? Is that who that is? That's little Fredo?
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Well, hi.
Thank you, Wadir. That was very nice of you. Least we all forget. Now, let's not forget the really big criminals that we've had in the last 30 years. These guys right here. I found this. Do you like this, Shanta?
Yeah, it's totally appropriate. But there's still a few that are missing, like Kissinger. And,
I mean, you could litter the hooves around the horses with Fauci and Kissinger and many others, and Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton definitely is a candidate too.
Madeleine Albright. I mean, we could make a wall. We could make a tapestry with all the criminal crime families that we've had. But
that's all we have.
That's
all we have.
Yeah,
there is no just powerful families. They're all criminal.
They're all criminal families. And since the show is a little short, I'll expand a little bit. Fredo Corleone went down as soon as Michael lost his seat on the commission.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Believe me, I'm a big Godfather fan.
Speaking. Hey, there's Wadir. Yeah, I put your Fredo in there. Did you see it, Wadir? I'm going to flash him back to make sure Thank you for submitting that. So, again, Wadir, really appreciate that. I did want to tell a little story real quick before we get into the depths of the bullshit here. As you know, Shanda, I'm still working with the Democrats as a PCO, and shame on me and lightning strikes and everything else. But I don't know why you subject yourself to that kind of hellish torture, but to each their own. It's not a big deal. It's like one meeting once in a while, and I am a PCO, and nobody ever contacts me. I get it. It's fun to go in there and fuck with them. Well, it's like a cat with a mouse. You bat them around and drop some truth on them, and you don't care because you're going out the door and the truth. Well, I just want to hold them accountable, and for unsuspecting people that get in there. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. It worked out well for you, didn't it? But they got rid of me today in my legislative district, and they did it by redistricting me. And they threw a party for me, and they said, thank you for being here. No, they didn't say a word. It was like, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. And I was never unkind to them. I was never rude. Right. I was always honest and fair and polite. And I felt very disrespected, but I didn't expect anything from them, that particular group today. Because you'll never get anything from them. No. And ever. But I feel kind of a release. Now I can go on and I know. I've had that feeling. Yeah, I can go on. I'm free. I'm free of them. I'm free. It's like breaking. It's getting away from a cult, basically. Yeah, I'm going to take credit for this one again. I put out last Monday. I sent this to Jeff Zuckerberg. to promote the idea of maybe his little adopted son there, maybe he should fire him. So I'm going to take a little credit there. But we've all been waiting for this to happen. They instead of dropping it on the Friday news drop, they dropped it Saturday midday, right? That's today?
Well, yeah,
3 hours ago.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's. Am I still cutting?
You
off
know
my
how the
head?
news cycles work. But just after that drop, this dropped, which is federal prosecutors set sights to widen the scope of their investigation into former New York Democratic Governor Cuomo to include a civil rights investigation. So, yeah, apparently DOJ is going after her for civil rights.
Are you surprised?
Violations.
You're not surprised?
No, I'm not surprised. And I think this is going to get much bigger. I really do.
I do too. I do.
You know, and why they have to take the roundabout way to fucking come after him. They should have just came after him for the nursing home shit, and then they played this games with the, I really think that in the beginning, the sex scandal was damage control. It diverted the attention from the nursing home scandal and how many deaths there truly was. And we kept saying that, hey, they got us all looking over here, but none of these women are really claiming that he sexually assaulted them, just said rude things. And we just watched it get bigger and bigger. And we knew it wasn't going to go away. And the Democrats had sacrificed him. I mean, straight up, they were like, oh, I ain't defending him, and yes, it's going to get bigger. I think that they'll be completely disgraced. But will they go away? No. They have money. Look at Matt Lauer. Matt Lauer has been kind of held up, sad. He doesn't have any friends because nobody wants to stand by him, and he's just been kind of held up in his house with all of his money since his scandal went down. And then he hires some PR firm. Oh, no, I think he's marrying some PR chick. But they're just going to rehabilitate their PR, and they go away for a couple of years and they come back on some other channel or with some other network or with some other corporation, and they're a rich person, so nothing sticks. It doesn't stick. It brushes off after a while.
No, absolutely. I mean, look at Jeffrey Toobin. He gets caught.
Oh, Toobin. Yeah,
he gets caught Toobin, and all he does is, what does he do? Buy some stock in Kimberly Clark Kleenex and some Vaseline, and then they've got him back
he was
on.
Smart.
Yeah,
he was smart. Yeah.
I mean, really, I've got to shout out Crystal Ball and Sagar. They were absolutely wrong on this. They didn't think that Cuomo was going to get fired. And I was listening to that the other day.
Really?
No,
I was adamant. I knew it was a done deal. So I'm just like, yeah, he's fired.
Well, I think Crystal and Sagar both were saying that, no, they're going to put him in the basement like they did Brian Williams, and they're going to bring him back out in 6 months.
Yeah, I remember her saying that.
Yeah, and I was saying, no, I don't think so. But if they were, and I was going to do a piece on it Monday, that we should go on full on with, the Cuomo crime family and not letting these bastards off the hook, because we tend to do that as forgiving individuals. Not me or Chanda, but you guys are all real nice.
We have collective amnesia.
Yeah.
We don't remember the news cycle from 2 months ago, let alone 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Yeah, it's easy to dupe us. We love a champion. We love somebody who's on top. We love somebody who's fallen from grace. And then we love a good comeback too. So
yeah, I wasn't going to stand for that. Matter of fact, I still, Toobin, Brian Williams, Matt Lauer, never.
Right.
Never. And
no, integrity is integrity. And once you've proven to the public that you have no integrity and this is who you truly are, I think that, if you have a half a brain,
they're part of the problem. They're just elite, rich cucks working for, whatever. And I know that Chris is crying in his soup, but he's worth, millions of dollars, just like his worthless brother. And Andrew's getting what, a $50,000 a year pension on top of all of his other investments that he probably got through his position as governor. So anyway, I think we beat this horse dead. We'll probably
and as far as the allegations that the women, I absolutely stand by them, the victims everywhere. I mean, that's the most horrific thing when, that there's this level of abuse and we can't talk about it on YouTube. And so, it's not that we're not knowing that it's happening or reporting on it. It's we're not allowed to, and we have to go to Rockfin, which I think is working great when we do our Rockfin shows. But for building like Beauty and the Boomer, I have to not go, I can only go surface level on YouTube. And it's, it is what it is.
And again, this is where we want to kind of back off the intense political stuff on Saturday and try to have some fun with it. Monday
Yeah, I got
night's
some
where
fun
we
stuff
get
on
down
here.
and dirty. Speaking of that, Amber King had a good Assange visual with Andrew last
Yeah.
night. It was long and it was fun. We had a good time.
I love Andrew.
Yeah.
He really is a cool guy.
Yeah.
Genuine sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah, he's a caring, good-hearted person, and very, very easy to talk to.
Sure
But
is.
Monday night, I think we might be bringing some shit. So
Oh, yeah.
we'll see. But tonight,
Well, so what's happening is everything that we can't talk about on YouTube shows is like just swelling up and bubbling up, and
Yeah.
it's all landing on Rockfin for us to just go off
oh
on.
yeah,
so.
yeah. I circular vomit on when I get on Rockfin about these topics. But there also Rumble got sold, so we don't know. I think they got sold to the Catholic Church. So now that Rumble's owned by the Catholic Church, I don't know what.
Let's
we're
get
gonna
ready
do.
to rumble.
Yeah, let's get ready to rumble somewhere else. I don't know. I hope they maintain the course they set, but it's always sad to see. But these big transnational corporations can buy anything these days.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
they
move.
do.
Let's move on here. We got this guy. Now, Sister Amber happened to cut this too last night. I'm going to cut it a little short, but I just want to point this out to everybody: why we're not even going to bother streaming shows on Twitter.
Twitter updated their policies this week, which no longer allows the sharing of media without people's prior consent. This from Twitter Safety. Quote, beginning today, we will not allow the sharing of private media, such as video, of individuals without their consent. Twitter also says it will try to assess the context in which the content is shared, and if a particular image and the accompanying tweet adds value to public discourse or is shared in the public interest, it will be allowed. The exception they
to
provide is
determine the
subjective
fucking
political one that
value?
will inevitably be applied unequally. With this policy, Twitter is essentially banning journalism. It's also a direct attack on organizations like us, like Project Veritas. Now, all of this comes on the heels of a Department of Justice filing to a federal judge last week, arguing we're not journalists. Why? Well, the government argued that our reporting, quote, consists almost entirely of publicizing non-consensual surreptitious recordings. There's that consensual word again, just like the new Twitter policy. But here's the thing. Good journalism requires publishing what someone else doesn't want published, making public disclosures others want kept secret for the wrong reasons. Anything else you do is just public relations, and public relations is not journalism.
And public relations is what we get from the main shit media 24/7 because they're
Right.
sponsors, right? So,
Well, who the hell are they to determine the value of the video?
well, yeah, they're, I
Then
did.
that's what they're saying. We'll determine the value of the video.
Well, I did the segment on Monday night about what a journalist is. It's somebody who reports. It's somebody who writes a journal. It's basic, and that's what journalists are, whether they want it or not. They're trying to appropriate the term and use it for political purposes, and we can't allow that to happen. Look what's going on in Australia. It's
Well, the only way it stops is when we unplug and stop using the platform. That's the only way these platforms don't continue to get more powerful.
yeah, and
It's up to us.
Yeah.
It's really up to us.
Yeah.
And I get it because I'm guilty of it too. But
what do you mean you're guilty of being on here tonight with Beauty and the
well,
Boomer?
on social media,
Yeah,
by
yeah.
by the means of what we do, we have to use Twitter and we have to use. But I have gotten much better over the years. Like
Oh, yeah.
I don't, I've cut back on everything, and even YouTube. I'm bad about YouTube. I've got to cut back on, and I have been. I go to Rockfin for almost everything now.
Yeah, that's where you need to go, is to the independent workspaces.
Well, you can't learn any truths on YouTube anymore. That's so year ago.
YouTube,
Like,
YouTube is the epitome of what a DIY channel is, and I good for that. YouTube should be just called DIY. How you put in a stove, how you put in a fan, fix a
How do I
leaky
change the starter in my 84?
Yeah. I'll put a caveat on that, and / movie and movie critic or something.
Recipes. I found some
cooking,
good recipes on YouTube.
and that's DIY. So YouTube's worthless as far as public discourse, but YouTube should be broken
But
up.
that is contradiction of the whole fucking point of you too.
No,
You
yeah.
know, there's no you in YouTube anymore.
No,
Is the
it's
problem?
it's WeTube and what we want
Exactly.
to put out there. So,
Corporate tube.
yeah, corporate tube. It's like tubing. So, you brought this. What is this?
Yeah, don't try to fight the mandate. Instead, realize there is no mandate, only a stage press release. And I just got to say, I'm super excited for the new Matrix that's going to be out on Christmas Day.
Yeah, the reviews haven't been so bad so far, but they usually pay off reviewers in the interim, the early ones, because
Well,
that's
I
what they do.
think this is going to be, come on. I mean, this has been a cult classic for 20
Oh
years.
yeah, absolutely.
Everybody references it in,
Oh,
you know,
hell yeah.
modern day English language. You know, you're in the Matrix. Like, yeah, this is going to be a hard thing to live up to. But for, you know, it has the original creators, so the vision's still there, I think.
Yeah, I hope so. I
hope so too.
The writing and the acting has been just shit in Hollywood for the last 20 years, as far as I'm concerned. This originally came out in 1999. The first
99. I owned a video store.
Oh
those were
yeah,
the days.
yeah. You probably stomped me as far as video stuff, but there is something out right now. And by the way, Last Kingdom. If you can handle the violence, one of the best written, best act series.
One of my favorite shows of the year that I found.
Last Kingdom. And Chanda, thank you
Kingdom.
for turning me on to that. But right now,
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, and I know I said the Amazon word.
See, that's what I'm saying. We're all guilty of it.
Yeah,
We
well,
all
yeah.
got to, you know, and I'm doing it. I'm slowly shaving stuff off here and there and
Well,
learning to give
yeah,
up.
yeah. Amazon Prime, the Wheel of Time with Rosamund Pike.
Yeah, I've been watching that one.
It's pretty good. It's a fantasy. I like the premise of these, you know, these witches that have their cabana boys servants that protect them. That's kind of cool. I wish.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
too.
I bet you do. I bet you do.
Uh-huh.
But again, I don't hardly use Facebook at all anymore. I use it.
Yeah, me neither. Just to maybe talk to family. That's it.
Talk
Really,
to
just
myself
family
and send
friends,
a message.
but
I don't even.
I don't do
bother.
any political posting.
No,
I'm just,
I know.
know.
Facebook has turned into just a cesspool of horse shit, and they've clamped down on everybody so bad it's not even funny. How's our chats doing? Everybody doing there?
Our chats are hanging in there.
Oh,
hanging in there.
Good. Hi, Jenna Colby. Good to see you.
Jenna.
Reflect the Sun.
Jenna.
Yeah. Yep.
Reflect the Sun. Welcome.
Welcome, Reflect the Sun.
Voxovix.
Zox. Good to see you, Zox.
Fox.
Good to see you, Zox. Did anybody see Barbara yet? Is Barbara here yet? Barbara? I didn't get to see No Joke this morning with Marcus and and I was too busy. I was just going crazy this morning. But what's been happening? Guess what the European Union wants to do? They want to call for dispensing with the Nuremberg Code, all a conspiracy theory. Shortly after Austria became the first country to make the jab vaccines compulsory, the UP Chief Ursula von der Leyen calls for dispensing with the Nuremberg Code and making that mandatory across Europe. And this is her last month dancing. It looks like she was dancing or hugging the Pfizer I think they're a CEO. I think there's more to that story. What do you think, Chanda?
Maybe, you know, it's a big club and they all hang out together. Yeah, this is shocking, but it's not shocking if you're paying attention on what's going on in the EU. You know, Germany rolled out some horrific rules this week. No going to the pub to get your bear, you know, if you're not going to grocery stores, they're cutting it down. They don't want you to be able to leave your house unless you have a medical emergency. And, you know, I spent a couple hours today listening to interviews for people in Australia that had been swept up and taken to one of their spas. And it's horrific. And when you realize that they're building these all around the freaking world and there's one near you, I promise you, you're like, what the hell? I mean, we've been telling you what's going on, but it's horrific to see it.
Don't let him do it. Resist. That's all I can say. I think Ursula right there is whispering in his ear, you are going to make trillions, and I know you're going to put something special in my stocking this year. So that's
maybe it'll be a car with a bow on it, right?
A car with a bow and a lifetime subscription to something. We have, speaking of the Amazon, Lex Luthor, what's going on here?
Lex. Oh, so remember a couple of months back when we were covering the union vote for Amazon workers to unionize in Georgia? Was it Pittsburgh, Georgia? Or Alabama. Anyways, it turns out they did rig it. Yeah, they did put a mailbox out there they weren't supposed to. They had surveillance they weren't supposed to. They were doing all kinds of shit they weren't supposed to.
Yeah, this is from Sister Crystal and Brother Sauger. They got some splaining to do. I gotta tell you guys.
I gotta agree.
Yeah, they're in the doggy house. So, but let's hear this. Let's hear this out. See what they got to say.
Okay, some bombshell news, some great news, frankly, out of Bessemer, Alabama. You guys will recall we covered this here extensively. The Amazon warehouse down in Bessemer, there was an effort to unionize that warehouse. Ultimately, when the vote came down, it was a dramatic loss for the union. However, we talked to the president of the union that was trying to organize them, and we talked to, other reporters who were down there on the scene, and they said there was a lot of funny business going on here. And in particular, the thing that they consistently pointed to was that Amazon had a post office box installed on their property that they effectively had control over, or at least gave the employees the feeling that Amazon was sort of controlling this election process. Now, the National Labor Relations Board, the regional directors in that area had laid out very specifically all of the parameters of the election, when it's going to happen, how long the mail-in vote's going to occur, and Amazon asked to have this drop box put on the property, and they said specifically no, and Amazon goes ahead and does it anyway. There were also other problems in terms of one of the things they're pointing to is that workers were effectively polled for union support, which again is illegal, by being told that if they don't support the union, they need to pick up anti-union sort of propaganda or like merchandise. And so that gave them a very clear sense of which workers were pro-union and which workers were anti-union. Again, this is illegal. You can't poll the workers in advance because this is putting, undue pressure on them in a very public way. So the bottom line of all of this is that the regional NLRB agreed with the union and the union organizers that this election was improper and that Amazon had illegally violated workers' rights in the way that they went about this, both with regards to the mailbox and with regards to this method that they use to poll publicly their employees. And so they have issued an order granting Bessemer Amazon workers a new election.
Okay, so they're getting a new election, but I brought this to say, told you so. We told you so. We all knew that this was a fucking sham, that, they were suppressing the vote. So here we go again.
Well, and part due in Bessemer, Alabama.
Bessemer.
They're going to lose. So anyway, if they do win, it'll just be crumbs just to get them to shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not happy with Crystal, and I think I'm going to talk about. She pumped out what some of these pundits, so-called progressive pundits, make, some of the more wealthy ones. We've covered it on a couple of shows. Yeah, but right now, Chanda brought this meme up here. What is that? Is that the future, or is that...
That's the future if MTV would have just kept playing music.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And it would have been clean energy, I suppose. But
absolutely. Yeah. Clean energy, just utopian.
Yeah. Secretary Anthony Blinken, the United States commends Australia for beating down their... Oh, that's not what it says. On passing legislation that strengthens its sanctions regime together along with other allies and partners. We will promote our shared values while using similar effective tools to promote accountability for bad actors. That's a lot of... Yeah.
So last week, there was a campaign in Australia against the Australian people. It was Chinese propaganda campaign. So China, there's a press release, and they pretty much tell them that if you guys side with America, you're what you're spitting in the face of China. And I mean, China's warning the shit out of them. Like, don't fuck with us. He said his exact words were, it'll be apocalypse, apocalypse, apocalypse is what they told the Australian people. And so this is, you know, Blinken telling the Australians that, hey, you're a good ally. We got you. You're good. Don't worry about China. They're bad actors.
They're bad actors. Well,
They're bad
Caitlin
actors.
Johnstone, Caitlin's sister, Caitlin Johnstone, she's going through a lot of shit down there too.
Yeah, she is.
Thank you. We did it because we are xenophobic and propaganda addled and somewhat afraid of you, afraid you'll destroy us if we obey you. So
We don't obey you.
yeah, don't obey. So yeah, Sister Caitlin Johnstone knocks it out of the park again.
Always
Always,
knocks it out
Always.
of there.
I don't think there's been too many points that I disagree with her on.
Heck no.
She's in Tuma, like Sister Whitney Webb and Vanessa Beeley and so many
Yeah.
others.
And I followed her for many, many years.
Yeah, probably more than I did. I was a little late to the
Oh,
game.
I've been Facebook friends with Katie for 5 years, 6 years
You
now.
must be, if you can call her Katie. Now you brought,
Katie, well, that's what she goes by on.
Now you did a report on this last year. What?
I've done a couple of different reports on this, but I always just find it good to remind people that the CIA revealed a heart attack gun in 1975, a battery operated gun, which fires a dart of frozen water and shellfish toxin. Once inside the body, it will melt, leaving just a small red mark on the victim where it entered. And if the official cause of death will always be heart attack. Yeah. That one works out good when you've got a judge with a lifetime appointment, right?
That's
Just
unbelievable.
saying, my conspiracy, don't sue me.
I was scrolling through some shows the other day, and I think I saw Walter Bragman, and he had a gun case behind him, and he had that very gun in there. So I heard he got recruited by the CIA a while back. So,
Right.
anyway, Walker Bragman. Yeah.
Forgot.
You brought this. Oh, I love that movie. The first one was really good.
The never ending story as a child, the never ending story as an adult. Yeah, totally.
No shit. Excuse me. Please wear your mask. A new variant was just detected. Ready for your next booster shot. God, I don't like that halo of a virus around Fauci's head, but I think it's quite
creepy.
it's quite appropriate though, because he is the modern day scientist Jesus. But you know, who knew? And then Sister Fiorella Isabella, I pulled this off of her. No relation. Billionaire economy is booming with private jets in short supply. And then U.S. suffers sharpest rise in poverty rate in more than 50 years. Yes, Sister Fee.
Yep.
And this was, I think in 2018, it was yachts, wasn't it? Yachts?
Yeah.
Yachts.
Oh, poor things.
Poor things.
Poor
They couldn't get
things.
their yachts going. How?
Honey for the billionaires.
Yeah, for the billionaires. May I have some more, please? What is this? Is this a ramp?
Okay, so this is kind of a crazy story I came across. This is a device that can stop your car. So instead of cops chasing you and pit maneuvering you, they've got this new little thing that they just deploy and they just snag you.
What is that? Is that on the cop's car?
Yeah, yeah.
God, it looks like some weird whatever. Let's watch.
Phoenix police say they stopped a potential kidnapping and ransom during a chase in the East Valley last night. They say two men kidnapped a woman because they wanted money from a relative and were previously involved in criminal activity. But police used an unusual and brand new technique to stop the car, one you've seen before right here on 12 News. Team 12's William Pitts shows us the Grappler.
It's been a few years since we told you about the Grappler, a net that'll basically stop car chases, but now it's been perfected and it's been used. A possible kidnapping stopped in its tracks. Phoenix police stopping a car with two suspects accused of kidnapping a woman overnight. An officer hauling away a bunch of yellow nylon bands. Cops only saying it was a mechanical Grappler device. That device is called the Grappler, and it was invented by Leonard Stock in Peoria.
We're still in our first year, And it's been fantastic with the agencies that are using it, and we're very excited that Phoenix is one of them.
We met Leonard a few years ago when he had a prototype and an awesome commercial.
The superior way to end a pursuit.
What he didn't have was an actual product.
When the videos were going viral, we had agencies emailing, calling, saying, hey, how can we get a hold of one?
Here's how it works. The net drops down and the cops drive up to the fleeing car. The net goes over the back tire, wraps around it, and stops it. The police car hits the brakes and the grappler stays attached like a lasso.
We pull these pins out.
Fast forward 3 years and the grappler is in departments across the country. It's been redesigned to hide in plain sight, looking just like the front bumper of a cop car.
We have several agencies that are using it. There are approximately 30 captures out in the field.
In fact, you've seen it before, even if you don't know it. In this pursuit video 12 News obtained earlier this year, that's a grappler on the front of a police cruiser, stopping the chase car on the freeway. Stock says it's better than a pit maneuver where a car could skid out of control, putting people in danger.
In the pursuit from last night, there was someone innocent in the vehicle, and so a pit maneuver or some of the other techniques may not have been appropriate.
He's only been selling the grappler for a year. Stock's hoping it's the next big thing in police.
Yeah, he's going to make a lot of money off that, right?
Cops and their toys. Yeah, they got a new toy called the Grappler.
Yeah. So, well,
But my question is what happens when they take one of those fucking piece of shit Fords and they put it up against somebody who's got a Hemi? Is that guy just going to drive off with their front end?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure they'll use some kind of discreet. Well, it's no, not necessarily. At least they didn't equip it with more guns and cannons.
Oh, that's
on the front.
next. You know that.
Well, they've got the send it in the car, you know, that
This is the beginning of Mad Max.
Yeah, it is. It is the beginning of Mad Max. Now I alluded to a few slides back. I went off the other night on this. Remember when I was talking about what a journalist is?
Oh yeah, there it is.
Okay. They're still journalists. However, why? Why do you think they're journalists? None of these people are journalists in any way, Fiorella says. None of them report on working class issues without defending politicians. None of them go out on the ground. They are bourgeois liberals masking as revolutionaries. Stop being influenced by the 1%, masking as the working class. And it gives a breakdown. Crystal's net worth 44. That's because of her husband, I guess. And Chinky, the idiot, he made some great points this week with his buddy, with his evil son, Kyle Kalinske. And then
I saw that.
Anna's got 3 million, and Hassan Piker, and, you know, David Packman, who puts me to sleep just thinking
Some of your
about him.
favorite Packman.
And then Sammy Cedar. Cedar, he's not a good negotiator, you know, for as long as he's been. Yeah, as long as Sam Cedar's been sucking MSNBS's ass, NBC's Universal's ass.
I agree.
He should have a hell of a lot more than 1.6.
Yeah, he should.
So he's not that bright.
That's okay. He's got a knob to polish. So
yeah. And so what I said the other night about what a journalist is from Merriam-Webster, yeah, that's what a journalist is. But I think Fiorella's point here is if you're using journalistic credentials to defend politicians and not go out on the ground, they are bourgeois liberals.
Yeah, I've never seen any of them out on the ground, and I've been all over this
and we
country
went
on
over
the
that.
ground.
You know, when we're in our studio here, we're not doing journalism. We're analysts. That's it.
I'm a content creator.
And content creator. You know, that's what we are. We don't purport to be otherwise. But these people purport to do other things. Now, I know some of you still like Crystal.
I'm a journalist.
And you know, but what's her motivation?
If that's what being a journalist is, then we need to come up with a new term for what we do. You know?
Well, so they're you know, they're propagandists for their personal interest and their comfort zone, I guess. Yeah. And again, they, you know, Breaking Point still talks about important stories, but I'd rather get those stories. Like Stephen Lucky told me the other day, don't platform those. Could do your own commentary. Well, we're working on it, and thanks again for the opinion, Stephen Lucky. We're taking it to heart and seeing what we can do. And that being said, more production people will help us do that.
Breaking news: Big Bird has died from the 4th booster.
Oh my God! Yeah,
that's not good.
Now, speaking of somebody who does commentary in the best way and networks and everything else. our sister, Sabby Sabs.
Savvy Sabs.
Sabby Sabs. She's I would call Sabby an analyst when she's in her studio too, and she's a very good one. I think she's easy to listen to. She doesn't break my brains like I do when I open my mouth. But let's hear what Sabby's got to say here, because I think it was really dead on.
Blarnery Stone Cereal, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, said, "Why so mean to Kyle?" Jink goes on to say, the dumbass apologized to Jimmy in the middle of the original controversy because Jimmy didn't feel like Kyle had sufficiently kissed his ass. Kyle was so wrong. He thought we were the bad guys. You still are. Are you kidding me? You guys smear people. You smeared Aaron Matei. They smeared Julian Assange. Are you kidding me? Anna Kasparian's on TYT talking crap about homeless people in Los Angeles. Oh God, not the homeless people. Get them away from me. They're still bad guys. Anyway, going on. Kyle was so wrong. He thought we were the bad guys, inexcusable, and we never got an apology once he pulled his head out of his ass.
Yeah, Kyle's a Bernie bro, and kudos, Sabby Sab. She couldn't be more on point about these people selling out over the freaking years. Anna and the homeless thing was disgusting. Disgusting.
It was disgusting.
Oh my God. Don't get poo on your shoes, you know. Yeah. Good points, Sab. Good points. I absolutely agree.
We'll probably dive a little bit deeper into that Monday night.
I plan on touching on that on the dive,
just on the dive. But anytime I can get Sabby in there, she's great. And if you haven't checked out Sabby Sab, Sabrina Salvati, she comes on every day. She busts her ass. I mean, she does a great job.
She is sweet. She's very sweet.
Very nice person too. So check her out. You brought this. We were talking about FedEx, and what's this?
FedEx. This is UPS. So says, hey, at UPS, your driver left this package under our doorknob like this and trapped us in our apartment. Had to call the maintenance to get out. UPS ground tweets back, next time order a shorter dildo, Jessica. Wow.
That was not is that real? That's not a put up. That's real.
I'm assuming it's not real, but if it is, that makes it even funnier.
Yeah. Well, we heard about that. We're gonna do. Hopefully I'm gonna do a story on the FedEx driver that threw over 400 packages out with sticks, and I gotta run that down. So I'll be doing some.
Just didn't want to take the time.
I think he was a butthurt employee that got overworked and underpaid, and I heard how they treat their FedEx drivers, and this is not surprised, but this really hurts the hell out of FedEx. Anyway, what do you got this?
Yeah, they're short-lived anyways. Amazon's buying everything up. In 1987, a man working as a shoe salesman could support a family and still own a home like this, and that is an excellent point.
Yeah, I did sell shoes for a while. I was a fitter, Red Wings. That was one of my many jobs when I was young and stubborn.
You're Oz Bundy.
Yeah, but no. Yeah, in 1987, yeah, you could. And a lot of those places had an RV or camper or a boat in the driveway, too, on top of that.
Right, and a pool in the backyard, depending on where you were.
But this was, to me, I believe this was about the end of it. When Clinton took office, it nosedived. And this was at the end of the Reagan administration, too. So actually, everything started going to shit right when Carter took office. And then Reagan really...
Oh, right when I was born. So lucky for me. Yeah. I've lived in shit my whole life.
Yeah. So
and they wonder why the Gen Xers are just like over it.
Yeah, they've been beating up on boomers a lot lately, and the sad thing about it is, Chanda, I've been agreeing with them.
I totally agree too. Yeah. But I don't know. The Gen Z and the Gen Xers kind of are the middle generations, and we're busy dealing with the millennials and the boomers. So.
Yeah, I know, but our boomers, especially our boomers in our chat. We have a unique perspective because our brains haven't rotted off of our necks yet, and we're still trying to be thoughtful in our discourse.
It's I always say this, that it's so mind-boggling to me that it was the generation that was going to rise up against the corporations and, get back to earth, and the yuppies that became the boomers. It's disheartening. Like,
Yeah, it is.
if they can brainwash your guys' minds, none of us have a fucking chance.
Yeah, we
you
don't.
know?
Yeah, I know. I just glutathione every day, at least 500 milligrams with your vitamin D. That's for mind retention. Sister Amber turned me on to that. I want to thank Susan Mullen for the Super Ray over there. Thank you both for all you do. Thank you for coming and joining us on Saturday night on Beauty and the Boomer. Hopefully, we're making you grin a little bit and giving you a little bit of information.
I don't know. We've been pretty, but we're getting into some funny stuff now.
Yeah,
so.
we're gonna try and be funny. Shanda's funny. I'm just funny looking. What do we have here?
So this is Fauci. This is just a little short skit from Jamie Deluxe.
Oh, Jamie Deluxe. I like
Jamie's been killing it the last couple of weeks
yes.
with the Fauci.
Yes.
But they're really criticizing science because I represent science.
Science? I think he means the Lollipop Guild.
We represent the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild, the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah. He's got to represent something, right?
I'm going to say it again. As far as being working as the face on this thing, I think his days are numbered. That Robert F. Kennedy
I
book.
hope so, because we've tried long enough to get rid of him.
Oh, yeah. That Robert F. Kennedy book has just been like #1 for like, people are actually starting to talk about it now. And if you haven't read it, I haven't got it yet. I was going to get it the other night, but I am going to get that book, and I am going to read it or listen to it. Probably
the excerpts that I've heard from it, that I've watched, it's stuff that's out there, but because of the censorship we're dealing with, a lot of people are not privy to.
And your main shit media is never going to report on it. Never, never, never. Max Blumenthal was on Jimmy
I saw that.
And he shouted chapter 8 in that book.
Oh, did he? Okay, yeah, I must have missed that, but I watched part of that.
Yeah, what do we have here?
Okay, so this, if you haven't seen this, I'm sure some of you have seen it, but for those who haven't, this is great. This is your typical progressive warrior Bernie supporter who was all against Big Pharma, but now realizes that Pfizer's different. They're Team Pfizer.
You got to be kidding me.
My name is Dustin, and I hate big pharmaceutical companies, except for Pfizer. You know, I did go to Occupy Wall Street. Now I'm a little more concerned with occupying a space in my tattoo sleeve with my new Pfizer tat.
Pfizer.
You Pfizer? You?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good? Yeah? Oh, yeah, I watched the Martin Shkreli doc, and it pissed me off what he did raising those prices. What an ethical company does is take money from the government to make the product, have the government force people to buy the product, get the government to pay for your commercials, then print money to subsidize it. If you asked me a couple years ago, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be wearing a big pharmaceutical company's t-shirt, but, you know, Pfizer's just different, you know what I mean? They're not like other companies. So they had to play a couple dollars back in the day for fraudulent marketing. Yeah, it's called faking it till you make it. Obviously, their haters are coming out of the woodworks now that they're on top. Yeah, my pronouns are Pfizer. I'd say about 50% of my identity is that I hate pharmaceutical companies and 50% of my identity is that I love Pfizer. Maybe I'd get Pfizer shaved in my head, sort of like black guys do with Nike. Do not get me started on fast food corporations unless you got a minute. Companies like McDonald's won't even pay people a living wage. You know, whereas a real company like you-know-who paid some of their employees like Alan Borla about $21 million last year. So yeah, take notes, McDonald's. $21 million for one employee. They didn't have to do that. You a Pfizer guy or?
Yeah, I already got Pfizer, man. Yeah.
Pfizer?
I got the booster too.
Are you gonna get a second or third booster or just the one?
No, I'm gonna continue to roll up.
You might do the fourth? I'm hoping to get to 5.
Yeah.
Respect, bro.
All right, man. Good.
I'm sort of like a feel the burn guy, and I know Bernie Sanders said we need to end the greed of big pharma, and I do agree with them that we need to end the greed of 99.9999999% of big pharma. You know, the big banks, they're against you. If they had any of your own interest at heart, the S&P 500 would just be Pfizer 500 times. Pfizer should team up with Nike, who I hate, to make a sneaker. Bezos! Yeah, the only way that I would be caught dead with a Tesla is if Pfizer acquired the company. 10 things big pharma doesn't want you to know. I mean, I'll post this after I scan through it to make sure there's nothing derogatory about my guys in there. Yeah, I wish the CEO of Goldman Sachs was right here, right now. We'd throw hands. I just retweeted an article about why big pharma's bad and then put Pfizer's logo on my Twitter handle.
So that's RyanLongComedy.com.
Oh my God. I thought it was serious. I thought, would you bring this nut on, Shanda? What's going on, man? No,
Well,
that
yeah,
was,
but do you see the people in the streets? That's how, like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going, man. I'm gonna get them all.
Get all of them. I'm on a roll, man. I'm gonna have 7 more, and looking forward to it. And I don't care about that metallic taste that's permanently embedded in my tongue. So,
Or that I'm now allergic to everything on the
I'm
earth.
not allergic to everything, but you know, this is a satire show. We're having a little fun tonight. Satire. This threw me, Shanda, because this won't play. This is just what's you boy, what the next variant is.
You boy, what variant is this?
What variant is this? And you brought these 2 great memes. What's
what clown people think a killer clown looks like, or what people think a killer clown looks like, and what a killer clown really does look like. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't think Fauci's going to be out there. I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm thinking out before spring. Is that too generous? Or
You know what? I'm not willing to make a bet because I think that we're underestimating his reach, his authoritarian reach. I mean, he hasn't been bounced in 2 administrations. There's been so much pushback. He almost feels like he's an untouchable God. And so he's going to fight tooth and nail. I mean, I think it's going to have to be a removal thing.
They're going to have to ask him to step down and spend more time with his family, because this Kennedy book is really taking off. And you know how long it takes for that thing to get to full saturation. Plus, not to mention the beagles and the monkeys and the AIDS experiments, all that stuff. So I think
covered it all
before spring, and I'm willing to.
I hope so. I really do. But we'll just replace them with whoever will carry the narrative. So.
Oh yeah. So is this a United spot?
No better. No, this is Salty Cracker. I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan of Salty Cracker, but he's growing on me just because he covers a lot of stuff that you just don't see. And this is a guy who wore a fake arm to go get a boop boop, so that way it wouldn't go into his body.
You got to be kidding me.
Oop.
Does this Salty Cracker and Jamie Deluxe, is this raspy voice? Is that the new trend on guys, or what?
Yeah, I guess maybe that cigarette voice.
The cigarette voice, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, friends, we're going to start handing out some Mad Lad awards, and the first one's going to go to this Italian son of a bitch over here. No, I ain't talking about the Super Mario twins. I'm talking about the dude who bought this silicone suit in order to avoid getting that medical miracle known as the Fauci sauce. He said, I'm going to buy this suit, I'm going to fill it up with newspaper and clothing underneath, and I'm going to sidestep these shenanigans. Ain't nobody going to prick me with an experimental injection in my butthole so I can go to the gym. No, hell no, Salty Panther. That's not how we roll in Italy. Just roll with it, guys. All right, anyway, we're at the New York Post. Italian man wears fake arm in crazy attempt to avoid getting COVID-19 jab. That's the crazy part? That's the crazy... Some dude not wanting to engage in a medical experiment, so he put that suit on to avoid, again, being injected by something where he can't sue the makers of, he can't hold the makers of that injection responsible for any type of outcomes that might be, I don't know, deadly? He's the crazy one for trying to avoid that? The guy who doesn't want to get jammed by a big pharmacological concoction, that again he can't hold them responsible for, over something that he's probably got a 99.9x% chance of getting over. He's the
crazy.
I'm not surprised. Are you surprised?
I mean, I'm not surprised. People do this with the HOV lanes. They put dummies.
Yeah,
I mean, why not?
Cutouts.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Whatever
I'm
it
not
takes. 220, 221. I'm not surprised. So, yeah.
That's the world we live in.
That's the world. Oh my God. Oh, this guy passed away this week. The actor, is that the Australian actor that played in Crocodile Dundee?
No, I don't think so.
God,
this is an actual group in Australia. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the guy that played his buddy in Crocodile Dundee passed away. The tall Aboriginal.
I remember that movie.
Yeah,
It was a big deal in the 80s.
Yeah, so just hit play.
Hit play.
Okay.
We are part of the original Sovereign Tribal Federation. We are part of the community. We are part of the people, and we're standing here united to make an international call for assistance. We need international attention focused on what's happening here in our communities. We have the Northern Territory government force vaccinating our people, pressuring them using military, using foreign military, foreign police officers. We are the guinea pigs. We are the dry run for everything. What they are doing in our community right now, do not think because you live in major cities that you are void of it. This is a dry run for the rest of the country and the rest of the world.
Well, friends, got a bit of an update for you for that story yesterday about those 3 criminal mouth breathers going around spreading their filthy coof on the continent of Australia. And then they dared to escape from a COVID spa and resort. How dare those sons of bitches. They were captured, though. Thank God they were captured by the fine, totally not Gestapo of Australia, and they were dragged back to the COVID spa. Holy balls, look at this. Every level of this is going to make you nuts. So I'm sorry. Heads up. Fair warning. We're over here at the Independent. 3 arrested after scaling fence of Australian COVID quarantine compound in the middle of the night. Officials say that the teens did not come into contact with anybody from the community at large. I think I could fix this headline for you, Independent. 3 children kidnapped after scaling fence of Australian COVID concentration gulag camp in the middle of the night. That seems a little bit more apt. It seems a little bit more fitting. It seems a little bit more precise. Holy shit. What a fucking mess over here. Everybody paying attention? Is everybody paying attention?
Are you paying attention?
I am paying attention. And like I said earlier, I watched a lot of interviews today with people that got swept up in this little bullshit over there. And basically they track trace you. You don't even know that maybe you've came in contact with somebody who did test it, and next thing you know, they show up, a Gestapo, exactly that, show up on your doorstep, and I think they demand that you get a test. And even if you test negative, doesn't matter. They tell you to get a bag, get it packed. They call you a taxi, which is basically a bus that they've got running around picking people up, and they dump you off at one of these camps. And if you refuse to go, it's a $5,000 fine.
Holy
instantly.
Shit.
And you got to jump through all the hoops.
Oh.
So most people, being malleable, just go, okay, fine, I'll go, and they try to convince them, oh, it's not that bad. This is just a nice place. It's like a hotel, that type of shit. And that's not the stories that we're hearing from people that are finally getting out. Basically, you go do your time. You're in isolation. You're treated like you have got the cooties. They're fully suited up. They throw whatever you need at you, and you have no interaction. You're locked in a little room. One woman was crying about how she needed to go outside. She hadn't been outside in days. She'd been cramped in a little tiny, box. And that's what they're doing over there. And when those kids jumped that fence, it was like prisoners had done a maximum security jailbreak and were running across the country. That's how they treated these kids.
And we're not going to see this because they confiscate all recording devices going into it, right?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They don't want that getting out. Well,
I mean, we have seen some of the camps. I saw some earlier, but it's footage that's coming from outside angles and views. Basically, you're not getting an inside look.
Do you think that could happen here? Or is it already happening?
I know that there was funding in the CARES bill, the first one, to build these type of operations here. And, there's people like Whitney Webb who've been reporting that they've been building these goddamn things around, the world pretty much for a while now. So yeah, I know there's one down by you, and if they're utilizing all of the exercises that they've practiced with over the last couple of years on all these drills, Event 201, and what was that one in 2015 that was so bad? But anyways, yeah, they've had practice. They know what they're doing. And yeah, it could be just as that, because who's going to rise up? Well, cop knocks on your door. Oh, you got to come with us. You were at this event, and we just want you to come stay here for 2 weeks in quarantine.
And just the idea is going to scare old elderly people anyway, and people who are already have mental issues. So this is
trust the government. They're there to save you on a hurricane or, build or put up
bullshit.
camp. So you go with them, right? That's going to be the mentality.
I feel like I'm funding that every time I pay my flood insurance.
Well, you are right.
Yeah. So you brought this.
Let's see. Are millennials killing Coca-Cola too? Well, considering Coca-Cola paid death squads in Colombia to kill labor organizers, they sort of had it coming. Yeah. Therapy doesn't solve being overworked and underpaid. Antidepressants can't cure poverty. Oh.
Yeah, throw some pills at you, get some therapy, and they want you to have therapy before you get any kind of treatments anymore, which is, but your insurance covers therapy. So yeah, that's where I'm going. Another note on Coca-Cola. I was reading an article from some outfit, and I tend to believe it because it's high fructose corn syrup. But those who have drank Coca-Cola in excess, other than belly fat and liver disease, or kidney disease, it's been hell on your skin as well.
Well, can I tell you, I just saw a documentary a couple of weeks ago that in some of the global south, like I think it was Guatemala, where Coca-Cola has these big manufacturing plants, whole villages, whole communities, whole towns are diabetic and sick and fucking dying because that's all they live on is Coca-Cola. Like there's nothing in a town, but 5 stores will sell Coca-Cola right out of their door to their neighbors. And they're trying to combat it. It is a health crisis. It's killing people.
Yeah. Then water is not as accessible.
The water's disgusting. It's putrid. They don't have fresh water, so they all drink Coca-Cola and they're dying from it.
So that's a means to an end, murder everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I back when I was drinking it, and I still drink some of that sugar water once in a while, but not like I used to.
I've switched to bubbly. You can go ahead and find out what bad stuff is in here and let me know.
Oh, that's not AHA. What the hell is AHA? I keep seeing this AHA shit. I don't know. Is that like that? You were drinking that LaCroix, that Monsanto stuff?
I do like the LaCroix, and I got to say, I broke down and got me a Diet Suncoast.
Okay. All right. Kidney disease for you.
I know.
All right.
It's better than what I was putting in my body for many years.
Speaking of disease, what's this?
Yeah, disease. So I've been telling you guys for a long time that the Hunter Biden emails were not going away. And as we gear up coming into the midterm and the future presidential election, here we go. And this is Kennedy. I thought you would appreciate this, Oz, because you like those big glasses.
Oh, yeah. Shoot. But this is Fox.
It's Fox Business, which is even worse.
Just when you thought the Hunter Biden saga couldn't get any slimier,
what a turn
here come the Serbians. And it comes days after we learned a Chinese energy tycoon gave Hunter a 3-carat diamond, so romantic, and offered him about $30 million just to make some introductions, that's all. So when the hell is the White House going to admit that this is an actual scandal? Hunter Biden's past can be charitably described as a Hindenburg-esque disaster. He's an alcoholic drug addict. He's been filmed on video, smoking crack naked with hookers. Who among us? He had a kid with a stripper whose paternity he denied, and he even shacked up with his dead brother's widow. What a winner. But that stuff's not actually that bad compared to the corruption. For years, he's been doing very shady deals with even shadier people in some of the shadiest places on earth. Countries like Ukraine, Kazakhstan, China, and now potentially Serbia. Fox News obtained emails showing that as far back as 2010, Hunter was in contact with the Serbian president's inner circle. We're told that that president was keen to introduce Hunter to some so-called businessmen and investors. It's not hard to guess why they would want Hunter involved. His dad was the vice president at the time, so getting Hunter on board could potentially open some very important doors in Washington. But as Sleepy Joe has repeatedly claimed, he had nothing to do with any of his son's fly-by-night operations. Joe?
Mr. Vice President, how many times have you ever spoken to your son about his overseas business dealings?
I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I have never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. And what I will do is the same thing we did in our administration. There will be an absolute wall between personal and private and the government.
Do you stand by your statement that you did not discuss any of your son's overseas business
Yes,
dealings
I
with
stand
him?
by that statement.
It is obvious to everyone that Hunter is a total liability, but will the White House ever come clean about what Joe knows?
He got a 3-carat freaking diamond. Damn.
That's a lot of carrots. Man.
Damn. But I just love how little tidbits and more connections are slowly leaking out, and it's just going to be a steady stream, I think, up until the next election.
Yeah, I think you're better off watching Allison Morrow instead of Kennedy on Fox, don't you?
Oh, I do. But you got to admit that she was funny.
Yeah, she was funny. She was very animated. Reminds me of somebody we know near and dear to us. What do we have this? This is Danny Price.
Danny Price, come on, you gotta like Danny Price, the CEO with a heart. He says translating job ads, competitive salary means a low pay revealed in the 5th interview. Flexible schedule means working holidays and Sundays. Be your own boss means a contractor with no benefits. Seeking rock star, work 80 hours a week, fast-paced environment, burnout in 3 months. We're like a family, run like hell. Yeah, exactly. I think most of us in the corporate world have seen that shit.
Yeah, I think that's FedEx.
It's all of them.
And so many others. Yeah, God, what was the Amazon ads are killing me. I mean, I stream on Hulu and it's like, we're paying $15 an hour. We're putting our, oh God, that's just one.
I saw an ad for one of our local places that was $14.50 an hour. That one pissed me off. Where, there's a help wanted sign in every window in town and you think you can undercut and get people. That's just shitty.
Well, here's the thing. We all know that wages have not stayed on track with inflation over the decades.
No, and they've got us convinced that $15 an hour is asking too fucking much.
Okay, here's what's considered a good job these days is UPS, union, everything else. They make $42 an hour. The drivers make $42 an hour, and on if they work overtime, it's $64 an hour. That is close to what it should be, comparatively speaking. Right. But they have got us so cowed in thinking, oh, that's great money. But I've had friends who work for that's a hell of a job. And they earn every penny of that, whether you like them or not. But I know that FedEx has been burning their drivers for decades, and they're non-union. So I don't know. It's crazy. But believe me, the minimum wage right now, if it was on track with inflation from 1962, should be minimum wage, what, $32 an hour, $35 an hour?
Right.
So that should be what minimum wage on if you're going to,
no, you're greedy to ask for $14.50.
Yeah, so whatever, and I won't get into a hypocritical rant because I'm a hypocrite at times too. We've got what is this? Is this?
This is Lower Expectations.
They changed their logo. I didn't recognize them before. Lowered Expectations. Okay.
Lowered Expectations.
This is United Spot. They have.
Yes, we haven't seen a United Spot in a while, so
I don't have any Lewis Black. I'm glad you brought this.
Lowered expectations.
Joe Brandon Biden, push 30330 on your phone.
I'm Joe. My friends they call me Brandon. You like hairy legs? I got hairy legs. You can rub them. Got 3 cootie shots and got a 51-year-old stay-at-home son. He's an artist. So, he's the smartest person I know.
Kamala Knee Pads Harris, push 6969 on your phone.
I'm Kamala. Want to see what I can do with a golf ball and some garden hose? Yeah, I got 81 million friends. And people are always saying go Joe Biden. Everywhere you go.
Nancy Squirt Bottle Pelosi, push 202-225-4965 on your phone.
I'm Nancy. My friends just call me a Squirt Bottle. You like tinkers? Huh? You like the smell of moist diaper farts? Want to see me eat a whole gallon of ice cream? Huh? Hey, drink a whole bottle of vodka? You can hold my hair back while I puke in the toilet. Would you like that? Yeah, you like that. You like food? You don't have to worry about paying for dinner because it's free. And we don't need to talk about it no more. So you can eat as much as you want because it's going to be $0. I know that the receipt's going to say $150, but I'm telling you, it's going to be free. So, I'm looking for someone who can build back better in my pants. Lowered expectations.
That part cracks me up.
I think
Lord,
I'm just going to
expectations.
start calling the United gross segments, but they some of the stuff's pretty funny. Some of it's
Some of
just
it's funny.
It's,
Yeah.
But the favorite part there was the flies buzzing around his head. There.
Yeah, right.
That was funny. So I apologize for that, but it was funny in parts. But it was gross.
It was gross.
It was gross. This is not a surprise.
No, did you see this story drop this week?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Jason Burmis has done some great coverage this week. If you haven't checked him out, he's done some. He did a show with Fee. He hosted Alex Jones, which whether you agree with what he was saying or not, at least he's over there putting some of our talking points out about Assange and other things. So Jason Burmis, but yeah, this is a little bit of a coverage of that story breaking.
If I can get it to go. Come on.
Start it up.
It's not wanting to kickstart. Here, I'll punch it again.
Maybe YouTube took it down.
Declassified CIA files say staffers committed sex crimes involving children. Oh, no kidding. Well, how about that? And by the way, props to Jason Leopold. Investigations. He's the one with the FOIA. You can get these documents in this thread. Again, another great reason to follow an open secret. It gets into how one of these people, okay, had sexual contact with a 2 and a 6-year-old, was fired, but never prosecuted. Another purchased 3 sexually explicit videos of young girls filmed by their mothers. He resigned. Now, what's really interesting to me about all of this, okay, not the woke CIA logo, by the way. You see, they changed their logo. I mean, for some kind of millennial reason. It's like, you see like the FBI bragging about how they're recruiting mentally ill people now that are totally inadequate for any type of law enforcement job. You don't want mentally ill people in those types of positions. All right. But you look at this. CIA files say staffers committed sex crimes involving children. They weren't prosecuted, but you get into it. And one of the reasons they say is they don't want their methods. Oh, look at that. We can't have these people testify. They may inadvertently be forced to disclose sources and methods. And now, a ways back, I don't know if we could find it right now, but I'm going to tell you a little story about a guy named John Kiriakou. John Kiriakou blew the whistle on torturing people at black sites via the U.S. military, okay, via the intelligence groups, an actual whistleblower. Was he celebrated? Oh, no. Oh, no, he was not. He was not celebrated at all. In fact, he was prosecuted. He did jail time. They ruined his life.
Yeah, and that's what happens to real whistleblowers. And Steve Cutler, yeah. So this week he did the Alex Jones show, and he was talking about how he didn't think that Trump should be, everybody's been screaming about Trump and the Epstein, right? Because of the flight logs. I'm trying to say this while we're on YouTube and not get us dinged. So I saw Steve in the chat just losing his shit. And I could see, I could totally understand where you were coming from, because Burmis, you got to understand where Burmis is coming from. Burmis came from that really far right out there media. He worked for Alex Jones in the early, the late 2010s going into 2012, but then he was with We Are Change and Luke Wadowski. So Jason really came from that far libertarian, right, conservative kind of mentality. But over the years, I've seen Jason grow with Assange, and he always denounced the QAnon for what it was, which was just a CIA deep state, game to control the narrative. And that comes back to this, everybody just blows off so much of these abuse scandals because they just get wrapped up in the whole QAnon mind thinking of, everybody's a predator, right? And so that way they can just sweep it away. And I think Jason does do a good job of starting to bring some of our messaging from the left that we have worked so hard to reach out to other independent media and say, hey, wait a minute, you guys think Trump's so great. How come he didn't, pardon Assange? How come Bill Barr did this? We can actually have those conversations and wake them up to it. And we do wake them up to it. Magnus has done a great job of that. Combo Couch. There's so many people, Nico House, reaching across the aisle, trying to talk to these other independent media. So cut Jason some slack. I get what he's saying about Trump. If there was something out there truly that could stick on Trump, and I know a lot about the Epstein cases, I have done in-depth reporting on it for the last year. If there was something out there, they would have stuck it to him during his presidential, because the deep state was after him so hard. And believe me, the deep state, if there was something, the deep state would have it, because that's who's protected Epstein all these years, right? Mm-hmm. So they would have sacrificed him. I believe if there was a P tape, they wouldn't have had to make up the Steele dossier. They made all that shit up, all of it up. So I just don't think that, I think Trump's a creep, don't get me wrong. I think that he was really involved with Epstein in the early days, pageants and crap like that. But I do think that there was a falling out between Jeffy and Trump, and it was over Virginia Giuffre, that he poached one of the girls whose dad worked at Mar-a-Lago, and it pissed Trump off. And that's why Trump put him out. I really don't think they had anything.
Yeah, and to not acknowledge the connection with the Clintons and the Gates and the
well,
lawyers,
and that's the other hand of it. That's the other hand of it, that you're absolutely right. We know Trump is friends with the Clintons. The night before he ran, he was on the phone with Bill. Maybe it was all just a big paradox and fucking show for everybody to sweep it and make it go away. And yeah, maybe they're all in cahoots and drinking adrenochrome in the bathroom together, you know?
I think Trump was surprised that he won. That's because that's what I saw him say.
Him and the whole fucking world.
Yeah. So, we don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. What's this behind you?
And we won't. And now we're going to get into the Ghislaine, because, that trial is a joke. So Whitney Webb says Ghislaine Maxwell is a predator, not a victim. And if the media did their damn jobs, everyone would know it. And remember that as her trial starts today, everyone claiming that she's another victim of Epstein's is belittling and insulting the trafficking network's real victims.
Here. I mean, they cast off all the victims so they can have their show and keep dividing everybody on the issues. Smoke and mirrors, baby.
Yeah, right. Smoke and mirrors. And nothing's going to come of this. There's not going to be any names dropped. I mean, if you want to know who the names are, they're Peter Nygaard, they're Les Wexner, we know who they are. They're the people that have already been scorned and defamed, and a few of them even been rounded up and are having fictitious trials like this. Do you know that there's a trial against Peter Nygaard running in Canada that is kind of the same dog and pony show? It's just to satisfy the masses, is basically. And the true victims that have been reporting what this monster, who was one of Epstein's freaking arm-in-arm buddies, had been doing since the 60s, had been pushed under the rugs by bureaucrats in Winnipeg, and they still are doing it. Victims are not going to get justice. You're not going to hear from the victims in the Ghislaine case. There's just the few that they're allowing to testify. You're not going to hear from anybody who's actually named names. It's a dog and pony show. Maybe they'll give her a slap on the wrist and she'll go to jail or she'll go to,
Well,
wherever.
they can't afford to. They're wheeling and dealing. They can't afford to.
They wheeled and dealed before this even
Yeah.
happened. I think it's been long worked out.
Yeah, it has been. And is this Brother Franco? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So I left a note for myself on this. How did Jason reason that Trump didn't do anything? Those are the Blue Dog Dems. If they had proof, they wouldn't have had to make it up the Steele dossier and take it out on him. Yeah, this is from Franco last night. As Burmis was on Franco, like I said, he'd done the rounds this week. And Franco, great interview by Franco. Gosh, it was
Franco always does a great
engaging
job.
and carried you all the way through it. And
All right. Franco's talking to everybody. And he talked to Ryan Grimm. I'll never forgive him for that.
no, I know.
but
Ryan, all trying to be all cool.
Yeah. And, but anyway, let's pull the lever on this one.
Just like people to know that I don't think we're really going to get justice in this case. I think we're going to get a lot of limited hangout. That doesn't mean that I don't think that Ghislaine Maxwell will be convicted. I think we're looking at sort of a Harvey Weinstein situation where they've already arrested other people involved in this. Okay. For those that don't know, other associates in this arena are Jean-Luc Brunel and Peter Nygaard. Now, those trials haven't happened yet. And I think that just like this trial with Ghislaine Maxwell, the scope is going to be extremely narrow and limited as not to associate them too heavily, especially in a conspiratorial or criminal manner, with some of the people you just talked about, people like Bill Gates or Bill Clinton, or even, Donald Trump's name has been thrown around. And although I don't think he committed any criminal acts, I think not acknowledging the fact that he had a relationship with Epstein that spanned a very long period of time and is much more extensive than the MAGA crowd would like to admit is important. It's actually something I'm going to discuss on Alex Jones's show, which I'll be hosting right after this. I'll be hosting the 4th hour of that because, as you know, Franco, it's not about left or right to me. It's about right and wrong. And probably the biggest tell on that is the fact that Les Wexner has already been exonerated by the media for having anything to do with this case, and he is not in the same situation as Nygaard, Brunel, and Maxwell. For those that don't know who Les Wexner is, aside from being one of Epstein's business partners and close associates, he's the one that gave him or sold him the New York mansion for $1 back in the day. And of the women testifying against Maxwell, only one is actually named, and her name is Annie Farmer. Now, she's extremely significant because her sister Maria Farmer went to the FBI and the NYPD about Epstein all the way back in 19.
Okay, so the reason I brought that is he says that I don't think Trump did anything illegal. And I don't agree with him. I do believe that Trump's done plenty of stuff that was illegal. But I think where the difference is and where I see the difference between Trump and the Clintons is Trump liked younger women, but not as young as Epstein. When you see what they were preying on, they're both predators, both by far, they're both. But I think Trump always knew to stay above that legal age limit, where Epstein fed on those much younger than what was legal. I think that that's the difference in my eyes. That's the total difference. And they don't have any way to prove it on him.
Not yet. Not yet. What do you got here?
Let's see. I bet he's thinking about another woman. I hope Ghislaine keeps her mouth shut. Yeah, I bet he does.
I bet he does.
Let's see. You know who is still alive today? Jeffrey Epstein's victims. You know who we can hear what really happened and ask the victims, listen to them and believe them. The truth is not dead. It did not solely exist with Epstein. Never did. Agree. America deserves to know every client.
Yeah. Absolutely. And this is one of the necessities we do need to know, because this is the rich and powerful's playground. So they need to
Well,
be
yeah, he was
exposed.
talking about Les Wexner. I mean,
Yeah.
when you know who these guys are, what they've been doing, oh, God. Yeah, there's so
right.
many.
We got
So many.
we got Brother Steve Cutler coming up after this next little skit here.
Yeah, I'm ready for a
Now,
smoke break.
this one I had already had in the deck, but Sister Fee and Brother P went into this the other day. These are the 80 Republicans who voted yes with all the Democrats on H.R. 550 opened America's healthcare
Caney?
data. Yeah, healthcare data to become the property of the federal government. I cannot tell you how incensed and pissed off I am. There is no effing way that that data should belong to the federal government. That's my data. That's your
I got
data.
a data update last night from iOS, Apple, that said I have to go in and change everything. Everything had been compromised in some kind of leak with Apple. So I'm talking major accounts, PayPal's, frickin', I have to literally re-secure my life. Thank you, Apple.
I didn't get that message. Why would you get it and I wouldn't?
Well, have you not done the iOS update? There's a new feature that goes through all your security threats and then sends them to you as soon as you update.
You know what? Honestly, I'm so sick of this iPhone.
I hear you. I'm so off
I
of
don't
iPhone
recommend anybody buy a damn iPhone for nothing. And this was a gift from my lovely wife, and I appreciate it. But it has been nothing but a pain in the ass since I got it, and the security. That this thing is just.
That's why I got it. That's why I went to Apple.
I know.
The security was supposed to be great.
It's
I'd been
the
hacked
opposite.
with Android, and I hate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
can't
mean,
wait to
just
go
I'm about ready to get 2 tin cans and a piece of wire.
Okay.
But anyway, the federal government has no business. If you want to get an ancestry.com and give it to them that way, that's your business. But to actually have legislation voted, and all the Democrats voted for this, all of them. 80,
of course.
Only 80.
They want total control.
Only 80 Republicans do. So I guess this is a compliment to those who didn't. So
I think that those Republicans need called out by the Republican Party and shamed for it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I'm sure Liz Cheney's in there somewhere.
And to be fair, I have not read the bill, but when it says health care data to become the property of the federal government, this is just one more step to
That's all we are.
What Australia's doing right now. This is contract tracing on steroids, in my opinion. So anyway, I need a break. Can we have a break with Brother Steve? Brother Steve had he did something different here. You see how he art filtered his stream? The whole stream's like this. It's kind of cool.
Oh, that's like the sketching.
Yeah, like the sketching. Always colorful, always entertaining. Brother Steve Cutler live. We love you, Brother Steve, and Sister Lucky. Thank you again. And here we go. I think we're going.
Go, go, go.
Go, go, go. I've got a... There it is.
Had a million in a drop-dead suit. Dutch pink on a downtown train. $2 pistol, but the gun won't shoot. I'm in the corner in the pouring rain. 16 men on a dead man's chest. I've been drinking from a broken cup. 2 pairs of pants and a mohair best peaches. I'm full of bourbon, I can't stand up. Hey little bird, fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children all alone. Hey little bird, now fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children all alone. Hey! Shifter broke a bottle on Morgan's head, and I've been stepping on the devil's tail, across the stripes of a full moon's head, through the bars of a Cuban jail, bloody fingers on a purple knife, flamingo drinking from a cocktail glass. I'm on my lawn with someone else's wife, coming by the view from the top of the mast. Now, hey little girl, fly away home. Your house is on fire, your children all alone. Hey little bird, now fly away home. Your house is on fire. Your house is on fire. Your house is on fire. Your children all alone. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, yeah. away. Hey, little bird, won't you fly away? Hey, little bird, won't you fly away? Hey, little bird, won't you fly away home?
That was perfect smoke break.
Yeah, that was great, Steve. Love it. That anime. I should have made a bigger screen, but I always like to put Lucky and Leo and Peaches up there. So, but no, that was really, really great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Horny Unicorn. Thank you. Thank you for the Super Ray. It would be great if some independent media looked at how the state of Western Australia has handled COVID. There is no virus and worker wages are through the roof. No lockdown apart from early 2020. Only big business hates it, including a billionaire who tried to sue the state government. This has been achieved with hard borders, 14-day quarantine to enter the state. Best time ever worked for a worker like me. Interesting. Horny Unicorn.
I've heard somebody talking about that. Who was it? Kim?
I don't know. It may have been.
Somebody was talking about that, but you're right. I agree. Somebody does need to look into that. And there's a couple of other places too. That kind of, it's kind of suspicious. Like,
Yeah, you brought this. This has got your name all over it.
The society that separates its scholars from its warriors will have its thinking done by cowards and its fighting done by fools.
Yeah, that's pretty much right on.
Clydius.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
like Clydius.
Yeah, that's wisdom seems like it's going the other direction over the years. So,
this is a crazy little story that I came across earlier.
What's this one right here?
And I kind of remember the original story. Yes. So the Lakewood Church, which is Olstein's church, right?
Oh yeah. I heard about this.
A couple of 6 years ago, exactly. A shit ton of money went missing, right? There was all these conspiracy theories of where it went and who had it and who took it and who was involved. And a handy or a plumber, well, he found it this week. So they think it was it.
Is this one in the garbage disposal or something like that?
Something like that.
Let's fire it up.
Easiest phone call we've ever had.
Meet George Lindsay. He's the morning show co-host for the Morning Bullpen at 100.3 The Bull.
It's the greatest job ever.
This morning, the co-host asked people about valuable things they found and received a call from a plumber who recently did some work at Lakewood Church.
There was a loose toilet in the wall, and we removed the tile. Well, they removed the tile. Went to go remove the toilet, and I moved some insulation away, and about 500 envelopes fell out of the wall, and I was like, oh, wow.
Back in 2014, the mega church made headlines after someone stole $600,000. Obviously, this case remains under investigation. 7 years later, a man fixing a toilet at the church discovered money in the walls.
I went ahead and contacted the maintenance supervisor that was there, and I went ahead and turned it all in.
In a statement, Lakewood Church said recently while repair work was being done at Lakewood Church, an undisclosed amount of cash and checks were found. Lakewood immediately notified the Houston Police Department and is assisting them with their investigation.
I don't know, Chanda. I don't know. If I would have been that plumber, I would have said,
wow,
finally, all those years of praying to the porcelain god paid off. Right? Isn't that what? Yeah. I mean, really.
Touche. Amen.
I don't know if I don't know if I could have turned that in. That's a lot of money.
Well, Joel will just ask for it again next week.
Yeah, he's gonna ask for it. Matter of fact, he already did, didn't he?
Oh yeah, it's Sunday. Where's my money, bitches?
Now, I keep getting him confused with Dr. Oz. Isn't Dr. Oz in the hot seat? Didn't they pull his
They're
show
both
and
terrible.
stuff? They're both awful.
Terrible. They're
Yeah,
both, yeah.
Dr. Oz is running for office somewhere, and he pissed off
Oh,
somebody. They
God.
pulled his show and all this other crap.
Well, he does all these pseudo fucking shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's like that other doctor, whatever the hell. His
And this
name
guy, he won't let poor people in during a hurricane.
Yeah,
so-
this guy. Yeah, this guy's the real dirt bag. He's a pretty little dirt
They're
bag.
all
He
dirt
reminds
bags.
me of that Canadian con man, that little bit with the hair and stuff. So, yes, I'm talking about you,
Justin?
Mr. David Dole. Mr.
Oh, I
Dole.
thought you were talking about Justin Trudeau. He kind of
No,
looks like
he
him,
does
too.
look like Justin Trudeau, though. No, I'm not a fan. Dole has pissed me off way too much.
Oh yeah, me too.
I do have to say I don't have anything from brother Pat or sister Jamie Kuhn tonight. Pat had a really rough week. Is going through some stuff. So I'm not going to get into it because I don't know if he wants me to say anything. But he said he would try and be back next week with something special for us. And so that being said, what do we have here?
Welcome, FU at question mark. I would take some of them. Yeah, the money is unmarked. Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, I probably would have
It
too.
said-
Yeah, I would have made sure. You know what, though? Me taking money like that, you know where a lot of it would have ended up. Not in my bank account. I would have taken care of some
Right.
people with it.
I learned a long time ago that the guilt and is just
The stress,
self-deprecation and it destroys your life to have something like that over you. So I know better. So I know
I mean,
would.
just breaking a law or keeping something that's not yours. But you know
It
what?
eats you from the inside
yeah,
out,
it does. You
like-
can't. You're just that type of person. You can't sleep at night. But when
Yeah.
you're thinking of the ramifications of that, but if I gave it all away or just kept enough out to,
Robin Hood it. Yeah,
I'd
do a
Robin,
Hood
probably
thing, yeah.
Robin Hood it. I mean, because money is the root of all evil, and I'll just say capitalism. So yeah, it's
Right,
I probably wouldn't have turned it in at my age right now. I probably wouldn't have. Not that I would keep it, but I would have made sure I took care of some people that needed it. We have Stoner Corner. Then we're gonna go into
Stoner Corner.
Dance off is. Oh my God, we got a great dance off. Got a
Dance
great
off,
dance
dance
off. Oh, okay, Stoner Corner.
Okay, Stoner Corner. I gotta tell you guys, this was my favorite taxi ever. I've never laughed so hard in my life. Will you go up to Stoner Corner?
Yeah, I just my elbow hit that. Sorry.
And anyways, do you remember Jim goes and he takes his driving test and he says, "What does a yellow light mean?" Bobby says, "Slow down." And he says, "What does a yellow light mean?"
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Jim, that was
hilarious.
great. That was great.
That was hilarious. So the earlier you wake up, the more weed you can smoke. And I'd say wake and bake.
Say wake and bake. So and this is everybody's heard this one. My favorite Jim gig in Taxi was when he went into that to do a recital and he started playing chopsticks and everybody thought he was gonna be, oh my God, he doesn't know how to play. Then he went into a concert pianist mode. That was my favorite ever.
Jim was my favorite.
Yeah, Jim was. I don't even think of him as Doc Brown.
I know they're two totally different, separate people in my mind.
Somebody who could play two different characters, I believe. Not like some of our current
not
shitty
typecast
actors.
for sure.
I saw this, Chanda. You knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, back in the day, would this have been you? Oh hell yeah.
That was me. That
Yeah,
was me.
That's sad because really generations now that's not them.
Yeah, and the dirt probably has got shit in it that you wouldn't want your kids to be digging.
Oh my God, you know how much dirt we ate as kids?
Oh yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just worse now. I mean, back then, chlorodyne was legal, and I'm sure that got around a lot of bad shit. But now there's even more and more and more and more and more. And,
I know.
And the Roundup thing is, it's
Well, I put a post up earlier today about our parents used to drop us off at the skating rink, right? You know, overnight skate, and our parents would drop us off at like 6 or 7, and they wouldn't pick us up till like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And, we had chaperones. They take us outside. We could smoke whatever. Parents didn't work. You can't do that nowadays.
No, my daughter, are you kidding me? When I was a single dad, taking care of my mom and dad and raising my daughter, yeah, I wouldn't want her out of my. I cringed just when I took her to school. I wouldn't let her walk to school because it was, it was out of sight, around the corner and up one block. I took her every day, and back in the day, it was like 35 minutes for me to go to school. It was 20 if I had a bike, So, but
right.
Yeah. Anyway, it is that time again.
Dance off, dance off.
Dance off, dance off. We got a very good dance off. Now, we tried the long form dance offs just for fun, and they were fun, but we're back to our normal ones. So get your scorecards out.
I'm still ahead.
And you're still ahead by 2, I think, because we didn't count. We didn't count the last couple. You won them.
I know, hands down.
Yeah, you did. You slaughtered me, and I had to bring it tonight. But tonight, I brought you doing a shuffle dance. And this is Chanda doing her version of Sophia Shuffle Dance. I think you do a terrific job. Everybody got their scorecards ready. I am still 2 down. I'm 2 down. But here we go with Chanda. On your mark, get set, go. I think that's just fantastic. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
That's.
I love all the chemtrails.
Yeah, that was really, that's great. I love a good shuffle dance, and these ladies that do the shuffle, well, the guys too, do a great job. And Sophia, she's been doing them a long time. She's good shuffle dancer, but there are some that are just a little bit better. But it's shuffle dance. It's its own kind of thing. Now, I had to really bring it because I'm 2 behind, and I can't afford to get 3 behind. Even though that was good, I kind of weighted it in my direction. I had to bring 3 of me to go up against you tonight. So
it could be worse. I guess you could be square dancing.
I could be square dancing. Hey, okay. So here we go. Oz is bringing it with 3 Oz's doing a hot man dance.
Nice shoes. Come on.
Gotta give me credit for that.
Triple threat.
Triple threat triad there. There we go.
Yeah,
triple threat.
You brought it. Triple threat.
Okay,
I see that.
I'm not going to beg too much. I really would like to kind of catch up because just to let everybody know, I've got some killer dances slated for you coming up, and I haven't got one for me. Not one, and it's just not fair. So,
well, I pose a challenge to you. Find square dancing. I want to do some square dancing. Do you know they used to force feed us that shit in school?
Yeah,
like 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, and you go back and you find the origins of square dancing, and you'll see how goddamn racist it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was implemented by Henry Ford, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Crazy white culture shit, man.
Yeah, I know. It was back in the day, it was, but, well, we were heavily influenced by Urban Cowboy, too, and that led to, square dances. Like I said, I was a disco guy. I had the bells and the polyester
What
shirt.
was I
and stuff.
watching the other day, and it made me think of you in your disco era? Huh. I remember.
If I can ever find a picture, thank you, Lucky Ozone.
No, I already gave. Oh, I
Steve.
got a vote. Thank you, People's Elbow.
Yeah.
Oz, you got it over here.
Triple threat acrobatics,
No,
total
he's a
setup
triple
Oz,
threat, right?
squandering, square dancing Oz and
I
Chanda are
concede.
just
I
saying-
tapped out. I
Okay,
know, I know.
Corona Marquez, Oz, thank you so much. I appreciate. Okay, you're one ahead. Next.
Gotta let you catch up a little bit,
Yeah, but
just to keep the suspense
I
there.
had to go to great lengths to do that. So anyway, we've got Hollywood here. We're gonna blast through Hollywood.
We got a pretty big Hollywood tonight.
It is, and I think I might. Yeah, Hollywood. So what do we got for Hollywood tonight, Chanda? Hollywood. Oh, for this guy just got a job.
Oh,
Aren't
Fredo
you-
got fired.
Fredo got fired. Fredo
Fredo
got
got
fired in
fired.
a movie. I'm so happy he's got work already. He's got to write a book, right?
Oh, you know it.
They all write
Didn't
books.
Tubin wrote it.
Yeah. Now you brought an Alec Baldwin part here, right?
Yeah, so Alec Baldwin, for some strange damn reason, thought it would be a good idea to go give a live nationwide press or sit down interview while there's still an active investigation going on. And during he claims he never pulled the trigger. If you know anything about guns, that's kind of not possible.
Yeah, the blonde Duke of Hazzard lost his shit when he saw that. and-
Oh, I've been following Rob Snyder.
Yeah, he lost his shit because what the fuck are you talking about? So anyway, here let's hear this one.
Boys,
Oh my God.
When speaking publicly in his first sit-down interview, on display a full range of emotions. He was thoughtful, angry, and sad.
This movie made me love making movies again. I really thought we were onto something.
Baldwin worked to dispel rumors, insisting he is not responsible for what happened in October. The actor claimed he wasn't aware of safety issues during production or armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed's inexperience. He also reaffirmed the long-standing claim Assistant Director Dave Halls declared it was a cold gun, establishing there were no live rounds inside.
When he's saying this is a cold gun, what he's saying to everybody on the set is you can relax. The gun is empty.
Based on his recollection, Baldwin claims he never actually pulled the trigger. He told Stephanopoulos he was rehearsing the scene with Hutchins and practicing drawing back the hammer of the pistol. But after cocking it, he says the gun fired.
I let go of the hammer, the gun goes off. At the moment. That was the moment the gun went off, yeah. That was the moment the gun went off. It wasn't in the script for the trigger to be pulled. Well, the trigger wasn't pulled. I didn't pull the trigger. So you never pulled the trigger? No. I would never point a gun at anyone and pull a trigger at them, never.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I think
Yeah.
the lawyer told him exactly what to say.
Everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. This was stupid to do while there is still an active criminal investigation going on. Just saying, he should be at least rich enough to hire an attorney that would tell him that shit.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think so. That's one of the sagas we're following. I can't believe you brought this next one. I cannot. After 2016, and you Bernie people are being ridiculous. I loathe. There isn't words deep enough for how I feel about Sarah Silverman. Well, I think you're going to like this then.
Oh, good.
Ah, Christmas, the time of tradition, togetherness, and goodwill to all men. A time of feasting, gift-giving, and thankfulness for all the good things we've... Oh, Fuck no. Out of all the different genres to be shat out by Hollywood over the years, there are a few that are more lazy, formulaic, and emotionally manipulative than the Christmas movie. Sure, there's some absolute classics out there that have stood the test of time, but there's also an endless ocean of generic shite that makes your average Marvel show look like a groundbreaking experimental art house project. But I believe a new champion has arisen to claim the throne that sits atop Bullshit Mountain, and that show is Santa Inc., one of the most wretchedly terrible, unapologetically awful products of human endeavour since fucking Cats. An 8-part TV show starring 2 preachy, self-righteous activists and theoretical comedians that have been so chronically unfunny for so fucking long that I genuinely struggle to remember how or why they even became famous in the first place. A storyline that tries to shoehorn every possible permutation of the message and mix it all together with crass jokes about the Holocaust and the unspecified virus of unknown origin.
Good news, sir. More American kids believe in you than they do in vaccines or the Holocaust.
That's great.
Fucking hell, this show's pretty much the perfect distillation of everything wrong with modern Hollywood. The premise of what could laughably be considered the story is that Sarah Silverman plays one of Santa's loyal elves, toiling away thanklessly all year long at the North Pole, while he gets to swan in at the 11th hour and take all the glory for himself. And if the subtle allegory of a rich, lazy old white man taking credit for the hard work of his downtrodden subordinates is somehow lost on you, then fear not, because the trailer takes the time to literally spell it out for you in a way that even your average TikToker could understand.
But the position of Santa has mostly been a white man's game.
That's because the modern figure of Santa Claus is derived from the Dutch legend of Sinterklaas, which in turn was inspired by Saint Nicholas, an early Christian saint from the 3rd century who traditionally gave gifts to people, particularly children. That's why he's usually depicted as an elderly white man with a beard. Anyway, because Santa's planning to step down in the near future, Sarah Silverman decides she wants to take over his job and become the next Santa Claus. Because it's her time now, or something. Cue lots of excruciating attempts to marry crude toilet humour with tired and clumsy observations about sexism and discrimination in the workplace, as she tries and fails to blend in with the male-dominated corporate culture of Santa Inc. Look, it's funny because they're playing golf and pissing in the snow. Jesus, there's even a joke about one of them having a small dick, which as far as humorous put-downs go, is about as lazy and simplistic as your average Adam Sandler movie. The ironic thing though is that I'd rather rewatch Adam Sandler's entire filmography than slog through this grim, unfunny, mean-spirited piece of trash. Who in their right mind greenlights a production like this? Who looked at this script and thought, yup, we've got a real winner here? Who was this show even made for? Why does Seth Rogen and Sarah Silverman keep getting hired when neither of them can act, they haven't starred in a hit movie for years, and they're about as funny as a terminal diagnosis? Jesus, all they needed was James Corden in there to complete the unholy trinity of anti-comedy. YouTube's recent decision to hide the dislike button on videos, and HBO's decision to disable comments on this particular one, means that there's no way of knowing just how unpopular the trailer for this show is, unless you happen to have the right extension on your browser, in which case you can peel back the curtain and take a look. Sometimes, just sometimes, my faith in mankind is renewed. Honestly though, this show looks like the entertainment equivalent of giving yourself a frontal lobotomy with a fucking power drill, which I suspect is what you need if you're gonna actually enjoy it. It's like every single bad SNL skit for the past 5 years congealed together into one horrifying monstrosity where laughter goes to die. In a world where you've got about 1 million different shows and movies to choose from, I honestly can't think of a single viable reason why you'd voluntarily watch shite like this. And this is coming from a guy who drinks fucking turpentine. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Wow.
So are you happy with it now?
Yeah, Sarah Silverman actually fucking triggers me. Absolutely 100% triggers me. Yeah, they both, that's very fair assessment. They both have not put anything good out in years. They are not funny. I'm so over the old ass potty humor that they still think is hilarious, and it's not, small dick jokes and fart jokes.
I'll remember that when I try and bring some. I honestly, this guy, he's kind of an arrogant guy, but you know what? He's pretty right on, and he doesn't pull any punches with anybody. So, I listen to him. I know Brother Pat can take him or leave him, but I like him like I like Aussie Man reviews and some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I know. This guy's funny.
Yeah, he's funny. He's entertaining. So what do we have? We got something here with Seth Rogen.
Okay, so this is Seth Rogen, and this is him being a shit lib, dim. He had a meltdown over people getting over their cars being broke into. That's just a part of fucking life. If you live in a big city, get over it.
So Seth Rogen used to be just like so cool, but now anytime I see him, he's always in some dumb drama on Twitter or whatever else where he just comes off as weird. There was this whole thing where he was like policing people, making jokes, asking them if they were Jewish, whatever else. And his most recent one, I mean, this was just a week ago, Seth Rogen slammed for downplaying the impacts of LA's rising vehicle-related crimes. So this was like one of these things where it's like, Seth, just shut up. Just shut up. Why do you feel the need to jump in here? Casey Neistat, I don't know if you know Casey. Can I get a picture here? You're gonna make a whole, I gotta watch a slideshow. There's Casey Neistat, also a creator, very popular creator. He came to LA, Jesus Christ with these pop-ups, and said, I left my car for a couple hours in a spot. I come back, it's been broken into. I'm pissed off. He says, LA is a crime-ridden shithole or whatever. And you go, well, okay, well, the guy's really upset. Okay, this is not the time to step in and go, no, Los Angeles is a beautiful and vibrant community. You go, oh, hey, man, I'm sorry your car got broken into. I promise you LA's, there's good people in LA too. Like, that's as far as you got to take it. You got to go, listen, I promise there's good stuff in LA as well. And I'm sorry you had this experience. We don't have, not everybody's a great apple. Seth Rogen basically chastised him and was like, hey, man, that's just what it's like to live in the city. That's just part of living in a big city, man. I could still be mad, right? You could be mad, but
they have so many worries in the world. Where does Nick?
Well, no, I don't. That cut early. I don't know why it cut early, because he went on to say, Seth's like, I don't look at my car as an extension of myself. I mean, it was a shit lib rant.
Yeah.
And it was just so uninsightful. Like, you spoiled, rotten shithead. Shut up.
Yeah. Where does Nick Revolutionary Blackout Network, he got his car broken into the other day. I mean,
it is a major problem in California. I've been bringing the reports for a while now. Your catalytic converters getting chopped off, people's cars getting busted into 2-3 times. I mean, yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
And the cops can't do anything about it. I mean, auto break-ins is like the least on the tier.
I had my car broken into once, and I had it stolen once. And after it was stolen and I got it back, I had to sell it. I didn't want it anymore. It was an old car, but I miss it. This is a joke. You want to talk about this for a second?
So poor George Clooney, he turned down $35 million for one day's work. George Clooney has said he was offered $35 million US dollars for one day's work, but turned it down. The Hollywood Star picture said the offer was for him to star in an airline commercial, but that after speaking to his wife, human rights activist Amal, he has decided against it. He told The Guardian, I was offered $35 million for one day's work for an airline commercial, but I talked to them all and it was decided it wasn't worth it, and it was associated with a country that already is an ally in question at the time. And so I thought, well, if it takes 1 minute of sleep away from me, it's not worth it.
Oh, I feel so bad. He missed out on $35 million doing for the United Arab Airlines.
Yeah,
are you
right.
kidding me? I mean, just because they, oh God.
He did the right thing, and he wants the world to know it.
Well, will he do that when Israel asks him to do something on how great
you
they
know
are?
that.
Yeah. So he'll do whatever. Anyway. That's good old
disgusting.
John. Yeah, and he's disgusting, and he wasn't that great of an actor ever, in my opinion.
Clooney's another one that triggers me.
Yeah, he triggers me too. And he's
When you know what they're really about, you're just like, God, these are horrible.
The guy,
human beings.
horrible. I mean, he's got his tongue so far up the Clinton's ass it isn't even fun, and Obama for that matter. So,
oh yeah,
whatever. This was hard to see again. I really do miss Patrick Swayze.
I know. I had to bring
and
this just
Bill-
because
Bill-
I felt nostalgic about it.
Yeah, go ahead and read it.
Hard to believe that Liam Neeson is the only one of these three still with us. Rest in peace, Bill and Patrick. You are truly missed by all of us. Of course, Patrick Swayze. This was Next to Ken, right? Next to Ken.
I think so. Yeah, next to Ken. And then since Disney,
I really liked Bill.
I did too. Here's Chet from Weird Science.
Chet. I always think of him from Twister.
Yeah, Twister. Yeah.
What was that one movie with Matthew McConaughey where they were the axe murderers? He had the sons. Oh, that was a twisted movie.
No, I can't remember.
Excellent movie.
Probably.
Excellent movie. Yeah.
No, the first time I saw Liam Neeson, it was a movie called Krull back in the 70s or 80s. And he did a great job. Matter of fact, he was outstanding in that. And then I really started watching him as Darkman. Did a great job. That was a cult.
Yeah, Darkman. I totally remember him
too. He's come a long way, and he's had it tough. His wife, Richardson, what's her name? Parent Trap.
Patricia. Yeah, she had her head injury.
Yeah, she got hit at a ski.
Yeah, he's actually had much worse than that going on. He's had so much tragedy over the last 10 years. It's really sad.
Yeah, and I don't know. Besides making that movie, he's just doing it to keep his mind off shit. So. Again, I don't know what kind of cloth he's cut from, but he seems, like he's gotten his share of bad shit. So since Disney bought Fox, it now means that it owns their television shows. Therefore, Peg Bundy is a Disney princess.
Peg's a Disney princess. Congratulations, Peg
She's,
Bundy.
You know how she's 67, I believe. 67.
I love Katie Seagal.
Yeah, she's. I would say she deserves if she doesn't have one already, she should have a star on the Walk of Fame.
I am a lot like her. My kids actually called me Peg when they were growing up.
Oh yeah, from the movie.
I had a lot of her mannerisms.
Yeah, no, I think she's a terrific actress. I've seen her, and she's one of the few that can actually act. It's not Peg Bundy in every goddamn show. I mean,
whoa, I didn't realize we were running so late.
Yeah, Sons of Anarchy. Sorry. This is a great reface, and this is how I feel.
I knew you'd love this.
I love this. Excellent reface. Great. I love, what's the guy's name? James Patrick or something like that. He was on the X-Files
something
for a
like
while.
that.
Yeah, he's been around.
Yeah, he was.
He's much older now. What's the movie?
The movie's cute.
It's a short one.
It's a short one. Yeah. I can't remember what it's called. Can't remember what it's called. Damn it. Normally I write them down, but I didn't write
I'll
this one
just
down.
pull the lever. I like your choice in movies. Better than mine, but I had a good one last week, so this is good.
I think this is called Distracted. Yeah,
Okay.
Distracted.
All right. I like your movies.
Dad, I know.
Yeah. So
A little melancholy.
we got what we got? We just got fashion. That's it. We got fashion here, and
But it's a good fashion.
It's a good fashion. It's a good fashion.
Oh God, thank you. Bedazzled penis or punk Crocs?
Well, definitely a no on the bedazzled penis. That's funny watching that hang over your head. Oh my God, Chanda! Don't touch
Screenshot it.
Don't touch it. It's dirty. It's dirty.
I guess that's payback for what I did to Amber.
Oh God, I guess so. Jesus Christ! That was punk Crocs. I was telling Amber, I've got two pairs of those. I was gonna put chains and spikes on one of them today just to get with the mood. But yeah, that's
why. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Just I don't know. Make my
you look dangerous.
Make my dogs jealous. I don't know. Something like that would have been crazy. So let me see. We're going here. We got the merch store. It's there.
Merch.
Moving
Thank
right
you.
along. We got if you can.
I'm free. I got that hanging over.
Yeah, you don't have that big dong hanging over you like that. People go crazy with those bedazzles. They get them at the thrift store, the yard sale.
Hey, they're fun. I have fun with bedazzled. I tell you?
They are fun. Bedazzled was fun. I even got to play with one time. So that was it. So again. If you'd like to throw some change, we've got the
Linktree,
and Patreon. Come over there and be a cub, or you can be a lioness or a lion or whatever.
Wow.
Check it out. I was very creative. I built that thing like 2-3 years ago. And
I never looked at it again.
No, I like. I still like it. It's cool. It's got lions. It's a lion theme thing for Roar. What do we got? Announcements. Announcements.
You know what? You asked me for announcements last week. I didn't have any, but then I ended up doing all these other shows, and I kept getting last minute calls. So you never know. You just got to stay tuned. You never know where we're gonna pop up.
Yeah. Well, for one thing's for sure, I've already made the card for the dive on Monday. I made it out of the Cuomo crime family and Kathy Holchill and. Of what's his name, Jeff Zucker.
That's a crime family.
Yeah, the crime family. But that's all, folks, for those people. And Kathy Holchill, I think she's.
She's scary. She scares me.
She's a piece of shit too. So you know, I mean, I don't know about
how is she considered a Democrat? Is she considered a Democrat?
That's a New York Democrat, and they're not Democrats. They're
holy roller since when?
Yeah.
Those are Republicans.
She's part of the club. You know, that's where.
Oh, they're all part of the club.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a Monday dive. We're gonna bring some fun stuff. Thank you everybody for coming in tonight. Thank you, Horny Unicorn, Susan Mullen, Kamshwari Kate Nay Rim. Thank you so much for your support over on the Rockfin Super Race. And thank you. Oz, yours isn't bedazzled for shame. SF Thomas, that patch would hold the holes in my music. Yeah, thank you. I didn't shout out Hey Dingo. Hey Dingo, good to see you. Trev. Hey Trev. What's going on, Trev?
Hey Trev.
Haven't seen you in a while, Trev. I've been missing you. And Race Lever over on the Natural Progressive. Chili, Charlie Brown. I think we got everybody. We don't like to miss anybody. We don't like to miss
don't.
We don't. So this week it's the dive on Monday and probably a Hell and Back on Thursday. Probably.
Yeah. It'll either be this week or next week. There's going to be one of them that I can't do because I have a scheduling conflict. So we'll see.
What about Friday night? What's going on? It's your turn. Are you going to do something? Are you going to give it to Amber? What are you going to do?
Ooh, let's do a Rockfin Epstein
on Friday night.
Yeah,
Rockfin Epstein. Okay.
Yeah,
that should be good. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial.
We can do an update. Yeah,
we'll do an update Friday night. So that will be Accidental Activist Friday night, and then next Saturday is going to be. I can't believe that day is coming. That day we used to celebrate when we were kids.
I know.
God, there's only 1, 2, 2 more weekends, and then the following
Yeah.
weekend is.
And we haven't even started thinking about a New Year's party. And normally we worked on Halloween for 6 weeks leading up to it.
Yeah, I'm thinking next week we'll get some Christmas theming on. Whether you want Nightmare Before Christmas, I know that Stephen Lucky would probably be inclined to be the Nightmare Before Christmas because creepy Santa and everything. So yeah, I hope I hope everybody that I sent a card to got them. I didn't have addresses for everybody, but I do need some addresses from our ladies in independent media and those who identify as ladies, because I got the boxes in and we got the script in, and I'm going to start mailing those out next week. So please send your address to me. I swear. All I'm going to do is send you one of our pins, our Roar Media pins, for Strength of Women in independent media. So
independent media, yep.
Roar Media Live. I'm going to send samples out to Linda and Chanda and Amber this week, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you guys, if you get them by next Saturday or next Monday, you can show them off. So please drop your address, roarmedialive@gmail.com. That goes straight to me. Your address. It does go to Roar, so Chanda and Amber and myself will have that address, just so you know. If you don't mind, that'd be great. And otherwise, I'm going to sell it to Pfizer and who else?
Meta.
So it's going to be Chanda, Amber, me, Meta, and Pfizer. So we'll make sure we have those addresses. What are we going out with tonight?
We're going out with a little System of the Down cover, Protect the Land.
Oh, great.
This is by Vicky and Cody. Vicky, how do you say that? Prowski?
Yeah.
Now
what was
Cody Johnstone.
What was the one I did of them before? That was
I don't know. I think we've had them on, but it was a different song. She's great. They do a great job. I think they're Ukrainian.
Yeah, isn't that oh, I know what it was. It was the one I did the cover for Joy of Chop Suey, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that was it. So anyway, thank you everybody. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, always a pleasure. Sorry we ran a little long tonight. I thought we weren't going to get past 8:30, but boy, I was wrong. So
I know. He always tells me that.
Yeah, I always tell him that. Apologize to Al. I know he's getting ready to get out there and play games. So here we go. So thank you, Chanda. You were fantastic as ever. And
I love my peeps, and I love that we can agree that we can disagree.
Yeah, we need to do that. We don't want to choir, and if we make a mistake, please let us know. And Chanda Pasta called Chanda out for Pimpin' Combo Couch last week.
I did.
And
I had my combo on.
And I want to pimp our sister and brothers over at Combo Couch. They're doing fantastic work. They're going the extra mile. So please support Combo Couch and our other sisters and brothers, Sabby Sabs, Franco, Slow News Day, Glory, all of them, and too many to mention. And I'll work on that role again this week. I always say that. Thanks. Have a great week, everybody. Talk to you later, Gators.
Bye.
Big guns would you stand?